I can feel it in the air.
It's unusual. I think it's unusual, too, because your voice is music.
Oh, okay.
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
But when I see myself on a DVD that someone's given me, I just go, oh, God. Oh, that was really, what a bad note that was. Oh, I wish I hadn't done that. Oh, why did I do that song that way? And it's just brutal. Very rarely do I go, oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. No, not very often.
But you must feel very comfortable in some ways because, well, you do. You have a strong voice, right?
Well, I don't know if it's strong. Well, yes, people have been saying that to me. And you know, it's like someone come up to me and saying, my God, you're a babe. You know, like you have beautiful, wow, your face is something else. And you've been saying to yourself, oh, my face is just, this jaw is all wrong, the eyes are too this. And someone tells you something and they convince you. That takes some doing.
I'd like you to sing a song. Can you do that for us?
Okay.
I was actually thinking Dark Island, only because we sort of did something with that on Main Island, and we were talking about music.
Oh, I sang that to you. That's right. And you were sitting there with your hair.
That's right.
Color.
So I thought that would be kind of nice because it sort of does. You can hear the music.
Okay.
I think that's what we. Unless there's something else you want to do, I'm open to whatever.
I kind of wanted to do Someone to Watch Over Me.
Okay.
Okay. There's a saying goes, says that love is blind, but we're often told, seek and ye shall find. So I'm gonna seek a certain lad I had in mind, looking everywhere, haven't found him yet. He's the big affair I cannot forget. Only man I ever think of with regret. I'd like to add his initials to my monogram. Tell me, where is the shepherd for this lost lamb? There's a somebody I'm longing to see. I hope that he turns out to be someone who watch over me. I'm a little lamb who's lost in the wood. I know I could always be good for one who watch over me. He may not be the kind of man some girls think of as handsome. To my heart, he carries a key. Won't you tell him, please, to put on some steam, follow my lead, oh, how I need someone who watch over me. Someone who watch over me. Well, thank you. Thank you.
Whose song was that? Talk a bit about it.
I know I heard Ella Fitzgerald sing it one time. It was on a TV special. And I think I was 6. And I sang it until my parents asked me to stop.
So it was strong in you.
Yeah, I just heard it the one time, but I couldn't stop singing it. And I get like that with music, where I hear a song and like the Dark Isle you just mentioned, except I haven't practiced that in a while, so I was afraid I'd forget the words. because sometimes you're in the middle of a song, you forget the next line, you go, and you can't
Eek.
regroup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't.
I know what that's
it's too late. So yeah, I hear a song and I so badly want to sing it that I just sing nothing else until
you've got it.
It's in there. Yeah. I think they call that voice. There's something technical, a voice memory, or I forget what it's called.
I think back in time, people used to gather, play their own music, sing their own songs. Now it's sort of television, videos, performance, flash and dance. What difference do you think that makes in our lives?
Well, you see the perfection. You don't see what's really, I don't know. I think it's too bad we don't go to more live performances. But when people do go to live performances, it haven't actually happened to me, but I've seen it on commercials and stuff, where they're not watching. They're looking at their phones, and they're tweeting, or they're doing this. So they're looking through. They're not watching their performance. They're not. I don't think they're feeling it the same way. And I also think, I don't know if this answers your question, but there are so many people out there that they're putting their things on YouTube and MySpace. I don't even know that MySpace, YouTube, Your Face. No, it's something else. I can't remember.
One of those out there things.
Yeah, there's so many. And so you go online and you see all these people that are, I mean, there must be millions of them that are trying to get noticed. And it used to be, you'd walk into a studio with a record and maybe the radio guy would play it, or maybe you'd get an agent, but it was fairly simple. Mm-hmm. I'd really like to be in commercials, but for the longest time I couldn't figure out how I could really do that, because I don't actually own a computer. Well, I have a laptop, but I'm not online. I don't even have a cell phone, so I'm kind of out of the
loop?
I'm very much out of the loop. And now I live on Main Island, so that's really, really way out there. So it's cool that you asked me to do this, because otherwise, how would I ever get myself on film? I mean, other than people's cameras, and I'm just going, oh God, that was so bad.
You were in a band once.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
A couple of bands.
Okay.
Was the first one I was in was called, the drummer named the group. It was called Rattlesnake Spine. It was just the worst name. And I was the lead singer along with a friend of mine, and then we had a drummer and a bass player. But God, we had fun. It was so much fun. I sang Blondie stuff and Heart.
I can't picture that.
I know, but I did. I totally
That's
sold it.
interesting.
Because on stage, like when I sing here, I'm slightly self-conscious because there's not an audience per se. There's not like these people are doing their jobs, so they have to listen to me. But when people are paid to come and see you, and there's a whole bunch of people, there's a completely different energy, and the stage separates you from the audience.
That's all interesting.
Completely different. So when you're on stage, when I'm on stage, I act quite differently.
Does the band dynamic sort of make
make
a difference
really,
in that? Very
much. You've got a team, a pack, and you're doing music, and music is so uniting. So you got backup. You're not alone there. Even though I like to sing, I like to hear my own voice. Singing in a band is a real trip. That's the ultimate cool thing, I think. And then I was in a band with my my ex-husband, and we were actually called Spank the Kitty. It took us about an evening of sitting over shooters to think of what we would call the band, and that's what we came up with. And we were played on CBC. Jürgen Goth was one of our biggest fans.
Oh, interesting.
The funny thing about that was my ex-husband couldn't take it to the next step. He dropped the ball. Just as soon as we had the CD, the song played on Jürgen's show, all he needed to do was finish the CD, and he couldn't do it. So there's a classic example of fear of whatever, fear of failure, fear of the unknown. And so Jürgen was quite disappointed.
I think there are quite a few people, it's sort of that fear of failure. What you really want is success, but what you're afraid of is it won't work. And then,
what if, yeah, definitely.
So you've lived on Main Island for a while. There used to be music happening at the pub. Talk a bit about that. You're doing some performances in Vancouver.
Yeah, I had to get off the island to do anything because a new management took over the pub. There's no music there now. From where 10 years ago, in the summer, every other night there was something. Amateurs, professionals, and now nothing. So there's no bands on Main Island. My friend Tim, or T.D. Christopher, as his stage name was, he came and we did a few gigs, but nobody's doing anything. So I thought, well, this is silly. I've got to
keep going.
Yeah, this can't be over. I can't live the rest of my life on Main Island and never sing. So friends of mine introduced me to what they call a coffee house. Once a month, we go to this really charming little chapel and sing. People come up and read poems, and some people play drums and do what they do. And so that's the only really other thing that I've got going.
And we are going to be going out. We're going to Dark Island. You didn't sing it live for us today, but we're going to go to the coffee house and finish the show off on that. We're already out of time.
Oh,
thank you very much.
No, really, it was great. Thanks.
Thank you very much. And thank you for joining us.
Away to the west where I'm longing to be, where the beauties of heaven unfold at the sea, where the sweet purple heather blooms fragrant and free, on a hilltop high above the dark island. Oh, isle of my childhood, I'm dreaming of thee. As the steamer leaves Oban and passes Tyree, there I'll capture the magic that lingers for me. When I'm back once more upon the dark island, true gem of the Hebrides, bathed in the light, in the midsummer's dawning that follows the night, how I yearn for the cries of the seagulls in flight as they circle high above the dark island. Oh, isle of my childhood, I'm dreaming of thee. As the steamer leaves Oban and passes Tyree, there I'll capture the magic that lingers for me. When I'm back once more upon the dark island, when I'm back once more upon the dark island.